This week on The Gadget Show.
Jason and I try to answer one of the biggest questions of modern life. Which is better, real life in the real world or virtual life in the countless amazing worlds available online and in computer games?
I fulfil a lifelong ambition and actually become a character in a next-generation computer game.
And in a Gadget Show exclusive, Jason becomes the first UK journalist ever to test drive the amazing inner space dolphin. Welcome to The Gadget Show.
Matt, you'll probably know that I'm a bit of a computer geek. You be quiet now. I love my computer games, all right, the internet, basically anything that's made up of zeros and ones, you know, makes me feel at home. In fact, right now, I'd rather just wipe out my laptop and disappear into a virtual world, if I had a choice.
But you see, here for me lies the problem. Let me explain. During the filming of this series, we've been to some of the most amazing places in the world, and he's missed all of it. Because, you know, as soon as we finish filming, he's up to his hotel room, out with his computer, on his little games in his virtual world. It's just no replacement for real-life experiences out there in the real world.
3, 2, 1...
To try and decide once and for all which is best, the real experience or the virtual experience, Jason and I set out to pitch them head-on against each other. The real world versus the virtual world. Well, I say set out. Oi, can we please get out of these four boring walls? There's a big wide world out there and it's a beautiful day today. If you're staring at your computer screen all the time, then you miss out on all these living, breathing, real people. Remember them? Human beings.
I don't miss out on them. Look, let me show you the internet that I was telling you about earlier, Susie Perry. Yeah? The biggest revelation in human interaction since we first chatted to each other in caves. Look, my mate's online, Tricky Nicky 2000.
Oh, great.
You see, Susie, here in the virtual world, there are loads of social networking sites, like this, my Facebook. It's enabled me to get in contact with loads of my old school buddies.
Yeah, but you just use it to flirt with everyone in the office.
No, I don't. Claire, my girlfriend. No, I don't. Did you know that MySpace has got over 200 million members? If it was a country, that would mean it was the 5th biggest country in the world. Here, in the virtual world, I can be anyone I want, in any number of places.
In games like these, World of Warcraft, World War II Online, Second Life, I represent myself with this, a little character called an avatar.
Yeah, but you might think that you're talking to a really beautiful lady, where in fact it turns out to be some fat milkman called Terry with a beer belly and a tash.
I know, it's brilliant, because I can be anyone I want as well. I can be a beautiful lady, or I can represent myself as a chicken. I can do anything I want in here. I can even fly.
I can do that in the real world.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. See? How cool is that?
It's not cool at all, Suze. You've got a couple of wires coming out of your shoulders. You've got a great big crane there and a crew of 4 people just to get you a couple of metres up in the air.
But I'm having great fun. This is a real experience. I've got real adrenaline pumping through my real veins. Do you want to have a go?
I'd love to have a go.
Well, you better get yourself online then, hadn't you? Find yourself somebody with a virtual crane with some virtual wires to attach to your virtual little avatar. And I'm thinking, that might be virtually impossible. See ya. You see, great fun. It was a visceral, real-life experience. You know, had the anticipation of what was going to happen, the harness, and then the physical kind of feeling of flying. It was great. You can't get that in a virtual world.
Yeah, and I've got to be honest with you. I would have liked to go, but I do think you can. The massive multiplayer games, EverQuest, World of Warcraft, they have an element of adrenaline when you enter those big, persistent worlds. And for me, there was a real event around playing those games.
Yeah, I hear you, but I just simply don't agree.
OK, let me try another tack, all right? OK, if we wanted to get all the viewers of the show and squeeze them into our studio, all right, we wouldn't be able to get them in here, let alone in the building, would we?
Well, we hope not, no.
But, OK, thanks to the virtual world, thanks specifically to Second Life, we can offer those of you with a Mac, a PC, and a broadband connection the opportunity to join us because we've recreated the studio in Second Life. Let me show you what I'm talking about. OK, check this out. This is the Gadget Show's virtual studio in the Second Life game. There are our avatars that we've created. For some reason, I've got a goatee. John is a very, very attractive macho version of himself.
There's irony in those choice of features, don't you think?
I quite fancy you in the virtual world, John.
Susie, though, not so sure about.
Well, look at it's the width of my legs I worry about there.
It's worrying, that, isn't
gate.
it? OK, we've built a 3-storey building. So there's the studio level. Moving on up, Let's go to the disco area with lights. And there's the third level, some kind of lecture theatre with a big video screen at the end. So once the show's finished, you can come and visit us in our Second Life environment. In fact, we're going to be online for about an hour after the show. Susie, me and John all there to chat. So you see, the viewers are able to make contact with us. Maybe we can give you a virtual cuddle because of the virtual world, Suze.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. What good to me is a virtual cuddle? I want a real cuddle. You can't feel a virtual cuddle. I mean, you spend all your time online in a game when out there is this big wide world that you'd still never be able to experience if you just travelled all the time.
Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to bother with aeroplanes and trains when I can run around the virtual world? There's so much more to explore.
As you can see, this argument is not over, so stick around because after the break, I try and teach Mr. Bradbury here about the true, real, wonderful world where we visit a bowling alley, a gym, and a rally track. See you in a minute.
OK, I'm about to show you a piece of technology that I absolutely guarantee you'll be telling all your mates about around the water cooler tomorrow at work. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to see a boat the like of which you've never seen.
This is the Inner Space Dolphin, possibly the most incredible boat ever built. It's powered by a 110 horsepower engine with a canopy from an F-16 fighter. The main body is made of fiberglass and Kevlar. The bulletproof material that weight for weight is 5 times stronger than steel.
So, why does it have to be so strong? Why build a boat that's really strong, really light, has oodles of power, and looks like a dolphin?
Because it's intended to be the most exciting submersible in the world. The makers hope it will eventually spawn a special dolphin racing series. It uses its innate buoyancy, forward momentum, and controllable flippers to do tricks like this.
Will involve barrel rolls like that. I'm going to be the first UK journalist ever, and one of only a handful of people in the world to drive it.
My aim was to pull some tricks, like Rob, the designer and test pilot, but he's been driving this since he built it, and I'd only got a few hours to learn, let alone show off.
Because of the way the dolphin's designed, because it's got so much natural buoyancy, depending on what I do, if I do some extreme moves, it should right itself. At least that's the theory.
Well, I certainly hope so, because this thing is notoriously difficult to drive. I was extremely nervous. But stupidly, that didn't stop me from nailing it at full speed on my first attempt, which was exactly what I've been told not to do. To make matters worse, I tried to roll it.
OK.
But it was no laughing matter.
OK, we've stopped on the shore. I was supposed to stay a long way away from the shoreline.
The guys weren't happy with me at all.
Once you can keep it level and do your turns, by all means, we can get into rolls, but,
we'll try to
that
get
was
it out
dangerous.
A little bit further. Let's try to head towards the bridge this time.
Yeah, understood.
Let's just ease it back a bit.
Yeah.
I had to rein myself in if I was going to keep the crew on side.
This is not easy.
The whole thing is a complicated mix of speed, angle of attack and fluid dynamics, and I was having problems picking it up.
Let's keep drifting to the right the whole time.
I needed to check in for more advice.
So I find it very hard to not go to the right.
You weren't going fast enough to get it into a decent turn.
I'd been wary of my earlier near miss and had been holding back. With Rob's blessing, though, it was time to pick up the pace.
That feels good.
Slowly but surely, I got to grips with the controls. I added more power and got the hang of turning. I felt ready for more.
Woo! I think I really have it now.
You did real good on
But
that
it's
one.
really getting there now, isn't it?
Yeah.
The movement.
Your grade's just improved from an F to a D.
That was a good start, but it was time to try a dive.
Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go.
I headed off again with a renewed sense of porpoise.
Whoa! Oh dear! That wasn't right. I went down and then I came straight back up backwards. That's not what you want to do.
The Dolphin can hit 30 miles an hour on the surface and an incredible 20 miles an hour underwater, but it shouldn't go too deep and can stay under for only 20 seconds before the engine floods and cuts out. I repeatedly went too deep, and once again I'd managed to worry the owners with my antics.
Oh, all right. Man, that was a tight one. All right, you got 2 more shots at it.
No.
The engine's starting to get a little wet in there, so what we want to do is get a nice dive, get it under, trim it out, and come skyrocketing nose first.
I was at serious risk of damaging this unique machine, and I'd only got 2 more attempts before they kicked me out.
There we go, try again.
I had to make them count, otherwise the whole day would be a failure.
That felt good.
I'd done it, and it felt great, but there was no way I was going to stop there. They were calling me in, but I had one last thing I wanted to do.
One more.
The barrel roll that got me into trouble earlier was now potentially within my grasp. I had to give it a shot.
Yeah, Jason! Yeah!
Now that was your bad boy right there. That was your move. That's what I've been trying to do. Oh, yes!
Oh, just jaw-droppingly spectacular to watch, but it did look very difficult to control.
I'm really pleased you said that, because it was, I reckon, the most technically challenging thing I've ever driven.
Really, was
Yeah.
it? But that must have made the sense of achievement all the greater at the end when you got that
believe
little
it.
barrel roll.
Awesome.
Absolutely fantastic. I want to have a go.
Now, there's always some do-gooder lecturing you about leaving your gadgets on standby. And to be honest, they've got a point. The average household apparently has up to 12 gadgets on standby or charging at any one time, accounting for up to 10% of the average electricity bill. But I've got a tip for you to help save some of that power. It's a system called Bye-Bye Standby, and it helps you switch your gadgets off completely. The idea is you plug your gadgets in using this adapter, and then you switch them off remotely using this remote control. It works at a distance of up to 30 meters, and you can group different gadgets onto different buttons of the remote. You can even get an optional pack that allows you to control it over the internet from around the world. Does it work? Yes.
Now then, back to this week's, well, argument really. Jason and I are having, are you listening?
Yeah.
Are having a bit of a to-do about the merits of the real world over the merits of the virtual world.
That's right. For me, it's all about the virtual, OK? The digital world, the world of social networks and virtual worlds, games.
Yeah, but you see, I still firmly believe that you can't spend all your time online on a computer. It's unhealthy. And if you really want to experience something, you've got to get out there and do it. The only way to highlight the advantage of a real experience is to have a real experience. Jason still wouldn't let it go, though, and insisted on bringing his Wii with him.
Oh,
it's gone to
Strike! 2 strikes!
Woohoo! But you see, that is much more of an experience than the flick of a wrist.
What are you talking about? You see, you're here, you're at a bowling alley. All you can do is bowl.
I can do all sorts of activities on a Nintendo Wii. This is the games console that's revolutionised gameplay all around the world. The controllers for a Wii are loaded with motion sensors, so your movements get replicated on the screen, meaning I get satisfaction from a whole range of sports and a whole world of choice, whenever, wherever I want. I can box, I can bowl, I can play golf,
I can do anything!
Yeah, but that's not a proper sport, is it? I mean, it's not real activity.
Try telling that to these guys. A retirement home in Birmingham is using a Wii to keep the old folk up and active. Oh, and just for the record, their favourite game is bowling.
I still wasn't convinced that a game could do as much for you as real, genuine activity. So we dressed up and headed off to the local gym so I could show Jason what he was missing out on.
Hi there, hi. Right. Jace, meet Des, he's our personal trainer.
Thank you very nice. Hi. Why are you doing this to me?
Right, Des, let's get training.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, come on. The thing is, I don't think computer games are good for you. In fact, they can be downright dangerous. A Chinese guy died a couple of months back after gaming for 3 days straight in an internet cafe. And beyond that, some kids are spending as much as 23 hours a week playing computer games instead of doing active stuff like this. Living in the virtual world could have a lot to do with why 27% of children in the UK are now overweight. Oh, you see, Jace, this is the life. This really makes you feel alive.
Yeah, whatever you say, Suze. much better, eh? That's better than jogging and rowing. What?
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to show you, Suze, that video gaming is no longer just about sitting on a sofa, all right? My Nintendo Wii is full of action-based games, which give me a really good workout.
I can burn off 125 calories in 15 minutes playing Wii Sports, for instance, and I don't have to wear tight lycra shorts. Unless, of course, I want to.
Oh.
Yeah, but you're not exactly getting a proper rounded workout, are you? I mean, look, I've got all these different machines to tone the different parts of my body, so I'm going to look really good. You're going to end up with an overdeveloped right arm like all gamers.
I don't know what you're talking about, Suze, but in response to you, I say, ah!
There's a new game coming out next year, specially designed to target your core muscles. Wii Fit will come with a balance board with pressure sensors that work out your exact weight distribution and body mass index and can tweak the exercises accordingly. There are all sorts of different sports that can work on all your muscles, and instead of sweating away alone in the gym, you can work out at home with the whole family.
It does blend both of our arguments together, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that's why it appeals to audiences that don't traditionally play games.
Although the argument's obviously going to roll on throughout the programme.
Yeah, it is. It's going to go on and on, certainly into the next element of this challenge, which involves rally driving, both in the virtual world and in the real world.
And later on in the show, Jason goes the whole hog and becomes a virtual character in a next-generation video game. Each week in the focus group, John, Jason and I present the best gadget that we can find in a particular category to our focus group. Then, in a particularly unscientific piece of market research, they tell us which one they like the best. Now, this week we are doing new water gadgets. So, Jason, you can go first.
OK, guys, I want you to imagine that you're 8 years old, all right? It's Christmas morning. This is all you've been bought. And you've got a huge bath, all right? It's called the RC water cannon, and it has these propellers underneath, which apparently are found on tugs, which doesn't explain why it's so incredibly slow. Look at it. It takes about an hour to complete a 360-degree turn. However, once you get round, that's when the fun really starts, because this incredibly powerful water cannon goes into action and won't be tied you if you're within its 2-metre range. I'm not actually that impressed myself, but what I will say to you is, you know, if you found that in a cracker, you'd still be disappointed.
Right, let's get serious here. Let me introduce you to the cyborg remote control shark. It moves in exactly the same way as a great white. So here we go, so it goes forward.
Wow.
It can go right and left. It can just headbutting yours out of the way there. And also, this is the great thing. Watch this. It can dive, and it can dive down to 9 feet.
Yeah.
And you can actually go underwater with it because this radio control unit is waterproof. And then you can bring the shark back up. I think it moves at a reasonable speed.
You can get me and I'll try and get in my cannon.
So there you have it, the radio-controlled cyborg shark. John, what offering do you have for us?
Well, I've got a giant pair of inflatable balls. And the idea is that they allow you to walk on water. All these cups around the outside give you a grip on the water when you get inside and just walk in there. We do have 2 volunteers, Roz and Asma, who are going to get in and demonstrate them.
Are you all right?
That's good, looking good.
Roz has given up, look, she's just sunbathing.
They want to bring back It's a Knockout.
Are you all right?
How do you find it?
Very, very hard work.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it's very hard to keep your balance in there.
Did you get any grip on the water?
No, definitely not. Well, I didn't feel it. I was too busy trying to keep upright.
So it's crunch time, the moment when you, our focus group, get to vote. I feel quite confident, Susan, about this. Yeah, I feel very confident. OK, so if you want to go for the RC water cannon, raise them high.
Oh, you've gone!
We're moving on now to Susie's cyborg shark. If you'd like to take that home with you, vote with your hands. Wow.
Yay!
Wow, that's impressive. All right, well, finally. Well done. Have your little victory dance. Finally, and I can't tell you how I've dreamed about saying this on television. If you want John's balls, Put your hands in the air.
2 for
Two.
John.
Oh, that's very good. Good result for Susie.
The cyborg shark takes it.
Doesn't it? Amazing piece of technology.
That was cool though, wasn't it?
Now, I want to talk to you about digital personal video recorders, or PVRs as they're more commonly known. They're hard drive TV recorders, which allow you to control your TV watching in previously unheard of ways, like pausing live TV, or watching a programme while you're recording a couple of others. Since I tested the high-definition PVRs from Sky and Virgin last year, my TV watching's been utterly transformed. They make it easy to watch shows when I want to, rather than when some TV scheduler tells me I can. The trouble is that Sky and Virgin's offerings come with monthly subscriptions, which can be quite costly. But now there's an alternative for people who don't want to pay for their telly, because an increasing number of Freeview set-top boxes also come with built-in PVRs. And to help me test 3 of the best, I've invited over someone who really knows his telly.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful. Rock legend Noddy Holder.
Nice gaff, this, isn't it?
Noddy honed his TV watching skills staying in hotels while touring with his band Slade. And he's now one of my favourite TV critics for the Mark Radcliffe and Stuart Maconie show on Radio 2.
So I do watch a lot of telly.
Yeah.
Far more than is good for me, actually.
So what I've done is I've set up 3 different PVRs in 3 different rooms.
Right.
And I'd like your expert views on picture quality,
Yeah.
whether there's any particular features that take your fancy, also how easy they are to navigate and programme.
Well, they've got to be easy for me because I'm not technical at all. Any more than one button, I struggle.
Well, let's start with this Sagem.
The Sagem is a dual tuner PVR, meaning you can record 2 channels at the same time. And it can record up to 125 hours of programmes on its 250GB hard drive.
So you've got an electronic program guide, EPG, but it's not actually quite the same as most EPGs.
Right.
Because you get a list of channels there, you get what's on there, and information about the program there. Plus,
There's Columbo. That's one of my favourites, Columbo. I want to record Columbo, definitely. Red button to record, yeah. That was pretty easy. It's only a couple of buttons, that's OK. Set the timer and everything. It's all ready to go now. That's fantastic.
And the menu's really easy to use. You know, there's quite a lot you can change.
Go up.
Yeah.
Stop! Banner time.
Remember, as well as being recorders, these boxes are actually receiving your live digital TV pictures from the aerial, which means they're as important in deciding the picture quality as your TV is. So how good's the picture from the Sagem?
I think this picture's quite good, actually. It's just slightly grainy. It's certainly clear,
Good
well-defined.
definition there,
Yep, and the colours are strong.
The Sagem, like all 3 of my PVRs, allows padding at the start and end of recordings in case the timing of a programme's a bit off. But be warned, not all PVRs have this feature, and it's highly annoying when your recording cuts off just before you find out who'd done it. Noddy was well impressed with the Sagem. Good value and easy to use. But I still had 2 more to show him. Humax is a big name in PVRs right now, and this 160GB model can record more than 80 hours of TV, and should provide a range of excellent features.
Oh, this is more what I'm used to, this.
Yeah, it's much more of a sort of conventional EPG, isn't it, with the various channels and like a time bar, isn't it, of everything.
Midsummer Murders, we'll try recording that. So I'll press the record. Nothing.
No, you're doing exactly what I did the first time I tried this, which was assume that just hitting record would mean I could record something straight off the EPG. Yeah. But you can't. You actually have to press OK, and then like that. But
So it's not very intuitive. A lot more long-winded than the other one, then.
It is. I think you'd get used to it, but it just feels like it's sort of been designed by geeks rather than rather by somebody who wants to make it easy to use.
The picture quality was outstanding, one of the best Freeview pictures I've seen, and that wasn't all. You can also link a computer into the back, and using the supplied software, you can copy programs off onto the hard drive. Useful if you want to keep stuff long-term. A winning point for the Humax is it includes a feature that's new to Freeview PVRs, Series Link, allowing you to record every program in a series at the touch of a button. Though the recording procedures were more complex, the feature-heavy Humax would take some beating.
Now, for our final offering, I've set it up in the smallest room in the house.
A recorder in the toilet?
No, it's the study. It's this. It's a Daewoo. It's actually the cheapest of the 3.
It looks it, though, doesn't it? But as we know, looks aren't always everything, John, are they?
No, that's true.
How about having to lie on the psychiatrist's couch here?
Yes, I'll take
Tell
this
me
then.
about your geeky childhood. When did it all begin?
The Daewoo also has a dual tuner and 160GB hard drive, which again holds 80 hours of TV. It may not be feature-packed, but it appears very user-friendly.
When you get this really clear EPG, I think, and you get lots of channels on the screen.
I like that, and I like the line going down telling you exactly where you are at the time of day.
Like a radio dial.
Like a radio dial, yes. Let's see if it's as easy to record with this as it was with the other one. Let's try Paul O'Grady.
Yep, just need to hit the record.
There we go, it was.
It's
like the first one we tried. That's good.
We agreed that the picture quality wasn't quite as good as the other two, though still definitely watchable. But I do have one major beef with the Daewoo. While the other two can rewind live TV, as they automatically record everything you're watching into a buffer, the Daewoo only starts the buffer when you hit pause.
It's great if you're going to plan to do something like, I want to go and make a cup of tea, I'm going to press pause, go and do it, come back and rewind and watch the stuff.
Carry on watching,
that's fine. But if something unexpected happens, like, say, you're watching a match and a streaker runs across in front of the camera, and you want to say, did that really happen? Rewind.
But not everybody would keep rewinding to watch a streaker again, except you.
Yeah, but
you would keep watching the streaker, but I necessarily wouldn't.
Of our 3 PVRs, we both thought that the Daewoo was the weakest, but we couldn't agree on which was the best.
I'd go for the first one. For value for money, it's got enough stuff on it for me, but you'd obviously want the second one because it's got lots more buttons to press.
I'd go for the Humax because I think I want all those extra series link features and things like that. I wouldn't be satisfied with the other one.
Really interesting piece, John, thank you. And this is the point of the show. I'm going to admit that I actually am in love with Noddy Holder and always have been. But look, it's you giving the G rating, so what do you think?
And I'm going to kick off with the Daewoo and give it 2 Gs because I really would miss that instant rewind and the picture quality wasn't so good.
OK, now Noddy made an interesting point because he went for the Sagem Sagem as his favourite for its ease of use, and a lot of people like simple technology.
Yes, but I think I'm going to have to overrule Noddy because I'm giving the Gs, and I'm going to give it 3 Gs because although it's great and I really appreciated the ease of use, it doesn't have the facilities that you get with the Humax, which I'm going to give 4 Gs because of the picture quality, because of the series link, and just because of all those extra facilities which make it the choice for me.
Now then, this week, Jason and I have been having, well, a rather heated debate about which is best, the real world or the virtual world of computer games and online persistent worlds. Now, I just think that he spends an obscene amount of time, an unnatural amount of time, being online and being in virtual worlds.
Anyway, unsurprisingly, when I was contacted and asked if I'd like to become an actual avatar, a fully-fledged avatar in a next-generation computer game, you can imagine my reaction. I straight away packed my little virtual case, I've got some virtual pants and socks, some pressed little pixelated shirts, and I was gone.
No need to be so graphic about it, though.
My quest for virtual immortality has brought me to the second biggest country in the world, Wales. Nah, I'm just kidding, it's Canada. More specifically, I went to Montreal, home to the massive development studios of Ubisoft, one of the biggest computer games companies in the world. They're the creators of some of the most popular computer games you can buy, titles like Prince of Persia, Rainbow Six and Splinter Cell. But I was in Montreal to be part of their latest game. At this studio, under extremely tight security, a couple of hundred people have been working for the last 4 years on possibly the most advanced game ever made. Assassin's Creed on the Xbox 360 and the PS3 is set in the Middle East in 1191, and it's all about an assassin trying to stop the Crusades and the war raging all around the area. But best of all, I'm going to make the full transition to virtual character. Yep, I'm in the game. The main character is not me, but he's pretty cool. He's got over 1,000 movements. He can run, he can jump, he can swing, he can leap and grasp just about any element of a living, breathing environment. This game uses the extra processing power of the 360 and the PS3 to make bigger levels with more characters who can move in more ways and with more advanced artificial intelligence. The new consoles are able to handle up to 4 times the information per second compared to their predecessors. In purely graphic terms, it's the difference between this 4-year-old character from Prince of Persia and this work of art from Assassin's Creed. And that's the kind of power that's going to render my virtual self. So what did I need to do to become a virtual character? Well, the process started before I'd even left the UK. I emailed over a few high-res pictures, which they mapped onto a generic template using 3D Studio Max. The template was tweaked and stretched to match my facial features and give me my very first virtual head, that by the time I got to Montreal, had been turned into this monstrosity.
Using Photoshop, they create a kind of amorphous mass of me. There it is. That's what that blob represents. Really, it's all the pictures that were taken kind of joined up, and in this splat format, it enables the artist to get in there and smooth out all the joins, kind of get rid of any marks that they don't want. In order to make it look as realistic as possible, the artists play with the tone of the skin, the shadows and the shininess especially they need to get rid of, so that when you're playing the game, the head looks as realistic as possible. What you end up with is, I think, a pretty good approximation of me.
It was amazing to finally come face to face with myself, but there was still a lot more work to do on my character. The next stage was to animate it. Using a generic movement template, my head is overlaid and matched up to the moving dots, making virtual me's movements as natural as possible. They then created a body for me in a program called ZBrush. Here, polygons, the building blocks of any game, are added to a basic shape, increasing the detail. With the body done, I was close to being a complete character. Like my head, the body was put on a movement template that's based on the main character and used for everyone in the game. With that done, my character was brought together, and for the first time, I saw myself as a complete virtual avatar.
That's me, a virtual me, look.
But I wouldn't always be a monk. My character's a crowd member, but facial features and costumes are changed randomly to keep things interesting. This is me with hair, and this is me as the local baker. The beer belly's not a good look. I'd seen myself in the design software, but now it was time to complete my quest. I wanted to see myself in the game, as a proper virtual character, in a proper virtual world. It could take ages, though. There can be hundreds of characters on the screen at the same time, and as they're randomly generated, it could have taken all day.
Oh, is that me as an old man?
It was turning into a wild goose chase.
Is that me as a monk? No?
As I could spawn in any costume, in any place, or I could spawn with hair.
That's me! Look, it's me with hair. I'm a little bit fatter in the face and obviously I've got hair, but that is definitely me, look.
Even though it looked like me in the 80s, it was a dream come true to have made the complete transition into the virtual world.
You know who I'm talking to. Hi, Jace! Hey! It's me. It's virtual me.
What a fascinating process.
Amazing.
I might have to help you with the old hair, though.
I know, that was a bit of a shame, wasn't it? Eh? No, to not have any hair since I was 20, then finally get some, and it's like, you know...
Like that.
Look like Susie Quattro, didn't I? That was a shame.
Good.
Thank you. But no, the technology is incredible. And you know what I thought when I was there? I was thinking, you know, this time next year, a couple of years' time, whatever, you know, ordinary people are going to have this technology at their disposal. We're going to be mapping our own faces into, you know, Second Life or Third Life, as it'll be then, or on your little messenger programme. I think it bodes well for the future of social networking.
Right, I've got a new gadget to show you, but I need you to get ready for bed first. OK?
OK.
Right, where is he?
Jason, come on in. We need you to do some important testing.
Hi, guys.
No!
What?
What are you doing?
You told me to wear what I normally wear for bed.
Go and get in bed naked. Oh, God, that's disgusting. Don't touch me, move over.
I wasn't nearly falling out.
What are we testing?
Look, we're testing this. This is the sound asleep pillow.
Okay.
Now, you know when your partner wants to go to sleep and you want to listen to music or watch the telly and they get really annoyed with you? Well, this could be the answer. Right. It's got a little covert speaker in here and a 3.5mm jack, which is compatible for TV, radio, stereo, MP3s. And basically, you can hear it, but your partner can't.
Right.
Look, have a go.
Because I find I get lots of complaints. Because even with those little tiny earbuds, you still hear a bit of a
And it's uncomfortable wearing headphones in bed, isn't it? Can you hear it?
Oh, it's really good. You need to get right down to the pillow.
Yeah.
Nice comfy
and
position.
And you can hear it?
No, it's a good volume as well.
Can you hear it?
I can't hear it.
See, it's brilliant. Really good idea.
It's really good. You want to try it, John?
Have a go. You have a go. Have a go. Oh, don't touch me with your naked skin. Oh. See, look, if you were lying down on the pillow next to him, look, you can't hear it, can you?
I can hear it.
I can't hear it.
I can't hear a thing.
It's really nice soft sound.
But I can feel your bottom against me, Bradbury. OK, I can't do this anymore. You'll have to get out of bed.
Are you serious?
No, it's just disgusting. Get out.
Jason, what's that?
That's my cat. Oh, God, it's not.
Right, back to our virtual versus reality challenge and the big test. Now, you might remember earlier, I took Jace to the gym to try to prove that computer games are no match for real fitness.
Yeah, and I whipped the Wii out, and I worked up quite a sweat myself, And I'd like to think that in exercising in the way I was doing, I was having a lot more fun than I would have done if I was just on a machine.
But what has become clear, actually, as we've gone through this challenge, is the fact that the boundaries, or the lines, if you like, between virtual reality and reality have become slightly blurred.
You know, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, you know, things are definitely changing. Playing video games is no longer about sitting in your bedroom, you know, the lights off next to your computer. Yeah, see that?
Yeah.
I could drive that.
Really?
Yeah,
oh,
no
I didn't
worries.
know you'd driven rally cars.
Yeah, I've had thousands of hours behind the wheel.
Have you?
At home on my computer.
Oh, well, that's not the same as actually being in a rally car, though, in real life, is it?
What?
Well, it's not the same thing, is it? You don't get the feeling.
Thousands of hours goes into they take a couple of years to make these games. They use real-world physics, so they're exactly the same as the real thing. Of course I could drive it. Well, you know there's only one way to sort this out, don't you, Suze?
Yeah.
Okay? Virtual world versus real world in a race.
Yeah, all right. You're on.
This was going to be a time trial challenge. 1 lap each in the real-life rally car to see who would get the fastest time.
I'd never driven a rally car and I rarely drive in real life, but would my 15 years of playing driving simulators be enough to beat Susie?
I'd also never driven a rally car, but I drive almost every day. Would this real-world experience be enough to help me beat Jason? Fully kitted up, I met the instructor and headed out for a few sighting laps to learn the course.
All right, Suze, you up for it?
Yeah, let's have a go.
See what you can do.
While Susie was learning the track, I took the opportunity to brush up on my sim skills with a brand new Sega Rally Simulator on the PS3 and this Game Racer Pro driving rig. Complete with leather-wrapped gear stick, metal pedals and powered steering wheel. It was originally designed for racing drivers to learn all the international circuits. It's fitted with genuine Corbeau race seats and the steering wheel rotates through 900 degrees and has 2 motors. These provide force feedback, which gives you a real feel of the car fighting against you through the corners.
This Sega Rally is just awesome. The graphics are fantastic. And with this steering wheel hooked up to a PS3, it's a very realistic experience. Obviously, Susie can do as much practicing as she wants in that car, but this is all the practice I need. I've been doing it for years.
It was time to put the virtual versus reality theory to the test.
Would my 15 years rally driving sim experience be enough to beat Susie over 1 timed lap?
Or would my driving every day in the real world be enough training for me to beat Jason in the rally car? I was up first.
2, 1, nail it, go.
And I was off. I floored it and screamed down the track.
That was impressive.
Down into the bowl at the end, and it was all feeling good.
Just come up the hill and start to slide.
And it was foot to the floor into the twisty section of the track. I powered onto the dusty concrete. And it all went wrong. No!
Oh, she's gone out! Oh, she's off, she's not happy, look!
I had been making good progress, but my spin cost me valuable time. 50.18 seconds was the time for Jason to beat.
I was confident though. I'm not a big driver, but I'm a demon on the computer. How hard could it be?
Stand well back. That includes the viewers.
3, 2, 1, go.
Revs up and I was away. I was determined to beat Susie, so I absolutely nailed it.
Don't carry too much speed into the bottom hole.
I slowed a bit to avoid spinning, but the back wheels still twitched. My sim training kicked in though, and I held on, correcting as I went. Then I was onto the concrete where Susie lost it.
Very slippy up here.
Despite myself, I went for the cautious approach and eased off the power.
Oh, look okay.
But it worked! I made it round without a spin!
We've only gone and done it.
Yay!
We can make a rally driver out of you, yeah.
What time did you get?
44!
Oh, you beat me by a long way.
Not bad.
One problem.
What?
You hit a cone.
Hey?
5 seconds.
What, a 5-second penalty?
49.
That's 49 dead. I still beat you!
Oh!
Yay! Woohoo!
I can't believe I spun off. Do you know what? If I hadn't have spun off, I reckon it would have been a draw at least.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, I'll tell you what, though, I love Sega Rally. Superb. Those graphics on the PS3 are amazing. And look what it did for my driving, Suze.
That's what's incredible. And there's no doubt that all your experience on computer games really helped you when you were rallying, didn't it?
Unquestionably. You know, and I did just go for it like a bat out of hell.
But please admit this, the biggest thrill of the day was when you were in the real world in that car, wasn't it?
I have to be honest with you, there was an element to that no video game really can create.
That was great fun.
Ah, it just felt great.